Okay, tonight, y'all, we got a special guest. We got Alex, and she's very special, very dear. Now, if anybody has an excuse or has fear or excuses after you hear Alex's story, I don't want to hear that anymore. How many children do you have, Alex?
Four girls.
Four girls. Okay, single parent mom, four girls, and she opened her own school. Plus, she had a job too, right?
Yes, I worked as an adjuster for a while until I opened my school.
Okay, so let's get started because everybody wants to know how can a single parent mom with four girls open her own school? Now, let's let's go back to childhood first and then let's work our way up.
Okay, well, as a child, I grew up with, I have three sisters, so my mom has four girls, and I was the second oldest, and I've always loved doing hair. I always did my sister's hair and my hair as well. I love playing with Barbie dolls and stuff, and I always used to play teacher and stuff, but I never knew my life would come to, me actually having a school. But, I grew up with my three sisters just doing their hair. I used to do relaxers. Of course, I wasn't doing it right then, but, I was was not cutting good at all, but I was already eager as a kid to be in the beauty industry.
So tell us about when you were in high school.
In high school, I grew up in a small town in East Texas called Jacksonville. If anybody's ever heard of Tyler, Texas, it's about 20 minutes from Tyler, Texas. And when I was in high school, I wanted to start beauty school because they had at my school, they had the CNA program and stuff, but they didn't have a beauty school program. And in East Texas, it wasn't many options of going to beauty school. So I kind of just would just do hair, but I just never had a license or anything. And around that time, I was perfecting doing dreads and braiding. I did play a lot of sports though. I was really good in sports. I played basketball, I ran track, I played volleyball. Yep. That's
Now, did you
basically
have
it.
a job?
No, my mama wouldn't let me work. I didn't actually start working until I got 18 because I got pregnant at 17. So when I graduated, I was 4 months pregnant walking across the stage. And then the summer of my senior year is when I actually my first job at Walmart. And I was like, I grew up with my mom. She's always had her own business. She's been doing income tax and finances for over 20 years. So I used to, make copies of people's socials and license and had them sign for their tax returns and stuff. So I always had a feel of wanting to be my own boss, but I knew I hated math. So I knew the tax field was not for me. So yeah, my first job was at Walmart making like $7.65 an hour. And I was like, this cannot be life.
So what did you do at the Walmart?
I was a cashier. I
Okay.
was the fastest cashier. I could scan your groceries faster than anybody. I always try to perfect anything I do.
So then did you quit Walmart or what happened after Walmart?
Yeah, I left there after I had my daughter, and my mom didn't want me to go to college because I had my daughter in October, and I think college classes started in August. So she was like, "You need to wait a little bit because it's, you know, I." She was just like, right now it's not a good time. Gonna have a baby. You need to sit out or whatever. So after I left Walmart, I started a job for like Redbox, like the little movie rental things, and that was cool. I got my first place working at that job. Still wasn't much money. I think I was making maybe $10 an hour at that job.
Okay. And then so you working at Redbox, were you moved out of the house?
So I moved out in 2012. I got my own duplex with my kid's father, and we just kind of went up from there. I moved to Dallas in 2013. As a kid, I used to always come to Dallas because I got a lot of family in Dallas, so we used to always come up here for like spring break and stuff. And I just coming from the country to the city, I always knew I wanted to live in the city. So the first chance I got, I moved up here. And when I moved to Dallas, I started out working for Kirby. I did a lot of marketing and sales, like door-to-door knocking. And I was pretty good at it, but I don't like commission pay. I want hourly plus commission. So From there, I went to my first job where I got a manager's position doing marketing. And I had like the top sales where you just call people over the phone and sell a product. And I had the top sales in there and got promoted to be a manager. And then from there, I went to insurance. I worked for Geico. And then that's what opened me up to wanting to do adjusters because they make good money and it's a stable job with good benefits.
Okay, so you had quite a few jobs.
Oh, yeah.
So when did okay, let's go back to that sale. So you were calling people on the phone to sell something.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
how did you sell them? Because a lot of school owners on here, business people, and one thing that we all have to do, we do have to sell and we have to talk to people on the phone. So can you kind of give us some pointers on that or some things that you learned or what you were doing?
Yes. So all my life, people have always told me I talk too fast. They tell me I give good information, but I talk too fast. So I was really good at sales, but they used to tell me on the phone, like they would like, chime in and listen to my calls and they'd be like, you got the deal, just slow down. Like you're talking too fast, just slow down. And like every time the person on the other end, the customer, they would be like, they would be iffy about the product, but they'd be like, well, you sound like somebody I can trust. So I'm going to do this because of you. So I feel like we sell ourselves before you sell the product.
Okay, so what built that trust up? What made them be able to trust you?
I just really didn't take no for an answer. Of course, you're gonna get a lot of no's, but I would. And the thing was, the job didn't send leads to us. I had to find my own leads. Like I had to look through newspapers and find businesses or phone books or through the internet. At that time Craigslist was popular, so we were selling a platform for online where people could buy, click in a video and purchase a product. And it was a, what was it called? It was called a smart store. And I just would call people and I would just rebuttal them and reassure them. I would walk them through how to work the process, and then I would assure them that if any time they needed help, I would be there for them to help them at any time. So that just kind of gave them the comfort to give it a shot.
Now, so if you cold call these people and calling these people out of the blue, what was like the first thing that came out of your mouth? Because a lot of times, if somebody just called me, we may just hang up. So what came out of your mouth to even grab their attention to hold them on the phone?
Well, we had a script, but I never went by it because I felt that it was so like just it felt like you was trying to sell something. So I would just get on the phone and be like, hello, my name is Alex. I was just calling you today to see if I could, show you this product that can help generate more customers and sales for your business. So I would start off asking them a question to be something that would be beneficial to their business. And of course they're going to say, yeah, because who don't want to generate more sales for their business? And then I'd be like, okay, well, so we could screen share. So I'd be like, are you able to, do you have a smartphone or anything or a laptop where I can hook up and actually walk you through the system to show you how I can help you generate more sales and leads? And the call would only take maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And some of them, they would start telling me about their life stories and all that. And then they'd be like, you know what, let me go get my credit card. I'm going and sign up.
Hmm. Okay. Now, when did this beauty industry, did you go to beauty school? Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So in 2018, I moved back to Jacksonville because me and my kid's father had broke up, took a break at the time. And he was the one who was like, in our hometown, mind you, it's not a beauty school close by. Like the closest one is either Dallas, which is an hour and a half, 2 hours away, or there was one in Lufkin, I think, and that one was like an hour away. And there's like a lot of small towns and stuff around that would have to drive far. So in 2018, he was like, he has a lot of uncles and stuff who cut hair, but they don't have a license. So he was like, you should really open a beauty school down here. But at the time, I didn't have my license and I didn't want to be leading the blind. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna move back to Dallas, go to beauty school. And I had been trying to go to beauty school when I moved to Dallas. I say I started trying to go in like 2016, 2017, but at that time they wasn't offering part-time or anything like that. So when COVID hit, 2019 is when I enrolled in beauty school. And around that time I started, but they didn't have part-time. So I was trying to do that plus work, but I was like, I got to make enough money because at that time I had 3 kids. So I was like, I can't just work part-time and go to school full-time. So then when COVID happened, we were able to do virtual school, and then some in person and stuff. So I was like, this is the perfect chance. And around that time, my job, we kind of got laid off because of COVID anyway. So I was just like, it's now or never. So I jumped in and I finished in 2020. And as soon as I got my license, 2021 was when I was like, okay, I'm gonna start working on trying to get a school. And I opened my school in September of 2022.
Okay, so tell me about that. So when you were thinking about opening a school, were you in school when you were thinking that?
Oh yeah, I would go to school every day and watch how they operated, like the admins and the directors. I was like more into that. Like I was more into seeing how they would actually operate as a school. So I was just like in awe to see, all the students coming in, the customers coming in to get serviced by the students. And then I also like there was a lot of pros and cons. Like there was things that I didn't like as far as, most beauty schools, they only have to teach you the bare minimum. And I would be passing all my classes, didn't have any clients for the day. And then I would be like, hey, can I go over here and learn more about eyelashes or facials? But they never let me go over there. And I'm like, well, that's crazy that I'm licensed to do hair, skin, and nails, but I'm only getting a small portion of certain things. So that's why I was like, I want to open a school so where if you're a cause, I'm going to show you everything. I'm not just going to show you a basic facial. I'm going to show you every kind of facial you can do under your license. And I just was eager to give my students more.
Okay, so on this journey to open your school, did you Google or tell us that road of that?
Oh, yes. So when I started the process in 2021, I actually started off, I never told you this, but I actually started off I had a teacher in my school. She was an esthetician teacher, and I went to Ogle. So it's like one of the top beauty schools or whatever. She came to me one day. She was an SD teacher. So I was in cause. I never even got to go over on the SD side, but she came to me one day and she put me to the side because I was already doing hair from home in my kitchen. I would do braids and dreads and stuff after when I would get out of beauty school. I would go home and do hair. And I was working full time while in beauty school also. Um, and so I started back working like 6 months into me starting beauty school. And I started working from home and doing hair at home. And she came to me one day and she was like, I want you to do my hair. So she became one of my clients. She would come to my house, probably like every 2 weeks to get her hair done. She would get her crochets. Um, and she was telling me about how she had a school in California before and all that. Now, she's not like you where you actually show, I can see it to believe it. I was just going off of her word. I knew she was a teacher at my school, so I trusted her. So I paid her like I think I paid her 1,500 down, and she told me it was going to be a total of like 4,500, but she wasn't there for me as far as like how you are. Like when I would call her, she would have an attitude because she was just getting off of work from teaching at Ogle, and I just wasn't getting that information from her like I needed. So then when I started Googling, I didn't find much of nothing on Google. And then one day me and my mom was looking, and my mom sent me your YouTube, and my mom was the one who actually called you for me. And she was like that you were like, well, it sounds like she got a good mentor, so it sounds like she's on the right track. But all she really did was went on TDLR website and printed out everything that you need to do to open a school. But that still wasn't enough for me. I didn't know where to go with that information. And so I had called you so many times. I think I talked to you for about 6 months to a year before I actually paid you my first payment. And every time you was giving me so much information, and I was like, forget it, it's now or never. I'm just gonna go ahead and pay and start the process with you. And from there, you actually helped me fill out the application, get approved, help me do everything I needed to do to make sure that I know I blew your phone up so many times, but I stressing about getting approved for my building, but we got it and we here.
So can you kind of tell them when you told people you're gonna get a school? Because here you are, single parent mom with 4 girls, and you telling people you're gonna open a school, not go work at a shop or not open a shop, but I'm gonna open a school. So tell us about that from family members, friends, and what people were saying.
Oh, this has been one of the most trying times of my life. Like I've definitely found out people who are for me and who are not. So all my kids have the same dad. And he was the one who told me to open the school. Then when I opened the school, because I live in Dallas, right? So my school is 2 hours away. Now, mind you, we're able to be hybrid. So I don't have to be at the school Monday through Friday. Plus I've had teachers throughout the time my school has been open. But it seemed like he kind of was hating a little bit once I actually did open the school, and that drew us apart. So, you know, he takes care of his kids, but as far as this the the belief I thought he would have in me, it didn't happen. And then like all the people I went to school with, none of those people had anything good to say about me opening my school. So all the support I get from my school are complete strangers, people I don't know.
So, did you just get in your car and start driving around looking for buildings, or tell us about that process? You doing your paperwork and finding the building. Walk us through that, because we got a lot of people on here that are thinking about opening a school. They skeptical, they scared, they're afraid, they got all these excuses. So kind of step us, hold us by the hand of what you kind of did.
Okay. It was August of 2021. I went to Jamaica with my homegirls to celebrate one of my friends' birthday and to celebrate me finishing beauty school. And right when we was getting ready to leave on the plane, well, kind of backtrack a little bit before that, I had been looking for buildings and I just wasn't having any luck down there to find the right building for me. So when I was on the plane getting ready to leave, one of the realtors in my hometown had texted me, and he told me that it was like the building was like 7,000 square feet. And he told me that the price was going to be $1,500 a month. So I'm all excited. So basically, it was a college. It was a college in my hometown called Lawnmowers College. They shut down, but they had a lot of different buildings that they were leasing out. And so it was a old cafeteria building, and I felt like it would be perfect for my school. But in which it would have been, you know, needed a little work. But the thing was, the air had went out. But when we were leaving to go to Jamaica, I was so happy. I was like, okay, because if I was starting to give up and be like, I don't know about opening a school, I can't find the right building. So then when he texted me that kind of fueled back my fire to be like, okay, you know, this could happen, because he wasn't responding back to me for a long time. So it was just funny that he texted me back that day. So then when I got back from Jamaica, I actually caught COVID, and I thought I was about to die. Like, I had caught COVID and pneumonia. I was praying to God, like I was going through it. So then when I finally got over that, I had went to my hometown, drove an hour and a half down there, and I went and looked at the building. And I didn't go with that building because the AC was out, and it was going to cost over $10,000 to fix it, and they weren't willing to fix it. So then he took me to a church. Well, it used to be a church, and this was the one that was like 7,000 square feet, and it was 1,500 a month. And it had all these pews in it, but I had a big vision for it because it had like 10 rooms. So I was like, okay, on one side of this building I can have the school, and the other side I can lease out suites. Like, I just had these high hopes with no money. So I ended up not getting that building because it was just going to cost too much to fix it. And so my kid's father's uncle had texted me, and it's this shopping center, and it's this building. It's about 9,000 square feet, and it used to be like a group home for like people to go and do rehab in. They had bought their own building, so they left out of that building, and I had been in that building before. And so somebody wrote high hopes with no money. Yes, broke. So I went and looked at that building, and it was perfect. It was already basically move-in ready. It had carpet, but it had a receptionist, it had an office, it has 2 classrooms, bathroom, and they let me break it up because I knew I couldn't afford 9,000 square feet. So they broke it up to, right now my building is 2,100 square feet, but I have the option to grow into more space later on down the line. And it was a blessing because they didn't want me to go out and hire my own maintenance people, because they don't want people messing up their building. So they didn't charge me for them to come in and tear up the carpet. They actually opened up space to give me more room. They created a room inside of a room. Like, they did all that for me. And it took them about 3 to 6 months to get the school ready. And during that time, all I had to pay was my first month rent and deposit. I didn't have to pay, you know, every month until I actually started enrolling students. So this building that I'm in now is really heaven sent. It really is.
Okay, so you got the building, they're working on it. While they were working on it, what were you doing?
I was still working as an adjuster, and I right after beauty school, I got my own suite in Dallas. I live in Garland, a part of Dallas, and I got a suite in the Firewheel Mall. It's like a outdoor mall, and so it's easy access for people to park and just walk in. You know, you don't got to actually go into an actual big indoor mall. So I had a private suite, and I did hair there for about a year, and that brought me a whole lot of clients, a whole lot of more money. And I was just using that money plus the money from my job to invest in my school.
And then when were you doing any paperwork then or what?
Um, yeah, you were helping me do paperwork as far as preparing, like making sure I had the floor plan together, making sure I completed like all the curriculums that I wanted to offer. And around that time, I was also, you know, preparing myself for how I was going to teach, because I knew it when I first started, I didn't have the money to hire teachers. So I was teaching everybody, because in Texas, one instructor can teach 25 students at a time. So I can have 25 students in my day class, 25 at night. So I was just trying to make sure, you know, preparing myself for how I can balance that out every day.
Okay, so you did your paperwork and then you submitted it to TDLR.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about that process?
Yeah, so another funny one. So everything you gave me was right. And you told me I had to have a CPA, but I didn't know that a CPA costs so much money. So I'm on Facebook and I'm like, who can find me a CPA? So that instantly this girl commented, she charged me $25, right? So then I send the balance sheet to TDLR, and they're like, no, this person is not a licensed CPA. They need to have an actual, you know, number and all this kind of stuff. So then when I call you back and then I get to calling people and they talking about $1,500 and $2,000, I was like, oh my goodness, no. So I kept looking, and then I found a guy in Garland. He charged me $750 for it's crazy you got to pay so much to a CPA and we give them the numbers, but you know, I guess I'm in the wrong field. But once I did that, I got approved. And then once I got approved, they had the inspector reach out to me to set up a date for her to come and inspect the school. And when she came to inspect, I spent so much money overthinking. Like I went and spent all this money on this time clock and all this extra. I overdid it. And I really didn't even need to do all that extra stuff that I did. But I passed on the first try and I was super happy.
And you do you remember when we first met? Because we met in person. I got to actually see you and hold your hand.
Yes, we did. I think we met. Did we meet before I opened my school? When was that you came to Dallas? Was that 2022? Maybe it was, but I think it was before September of 2022 when we met in person. I have to
Yeah.
look back at our photos. But yeah, when we met in person, I was so happy to meet you. And Jasmine was there as well. And I had already seen her on Instagram as well, doing hair. And I was super happy. Like I can't tell no lies. Like you really are humble in person and online. Like I don't feel like there's nothing that you hide and you willing to give up so much information. I was really happy, really, really happy to meet you in person.
So that's when we
It was
met.
a good
But I had
day.
already felt like I knew you because I talked to you so much.
Right.
You asked a
And
lot
we
of
went and
questions.
ate pizza. You paid for it. Ate good.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you kept calling and was asking all them questions, what were you thinking before you called or when I would pick up the phone and answer or whatever?
I just be like, dang, for this man to be helping so many people, he always either answer the phone or gonna text me and tell me he gonna call me right back. And you do. And I just be like, how you do it? So many people you help and talk to every day, but you make sure you don't miss a beat. And that just gave me even more assurance that like I don't care what nobody say, Chin gonna help me get government funding this year, and you didn't help me get my school open. So I mean, I don't see why anybody wouldn't want to join your program, because I really feel like it. Like there's a guy who has a barber school in Lufkin, which is an hour away from my school. You helped him. It's called Legends Barber School. You helped him get approved for government funding. So, and so many other people. So
Now, okay, so you get the school open. People on here now thinking, okay, well, how did she get students? How did she get clients? Can you share that with them?
Um, so I just really did a lot of door to door. I went back to what I knew, sales and marketing. And I really am a shy person naturally, but I know in this industry I can't be shy. So I just kind of have learned to put my shyness away, and I would go to barber salons and barber beauty shops, and I would pass out flyers and let people know that I'm, offering classes to students if they have clients who are interested. And my high school, since I was really good in sports and stuff, they reached out to me, and I've went there a couple of times, and I've spoke to the high school students and a lot of schools around in the area. It's really good for you guys to go to the schools and on career day and let them know about the programs you offer so students can come. And my school has, this year they're going to start where they are going to like offer a scholarship for students to come to my school as well. And then what also helped me was I had a student who graduated from my school last year. She already had her own business, and she already has like her own little like spa hotel in my hometown. And one day she went behind my back because her hotel caught on fire and it burned down. But she's like real popular in our hometown. So she went behind my back, and the same news reporter who did a story over her building burning down, well, it didn't burn to the ground, but like she wasn't able to like let people stay in there or whatever for a while. So they did a whole story over it because it was real big. Because it used to be a doctor's house, and she bought the house. And she went behind my back and told the news reporter. And so the news reporter called me and stuff and asking, can she come to my school and do a story? So it was a real popular news station down there. I think it's KLTV. Was it KLTV that did the story? I think it was KLTV. And so they came to my school and they did a story of my school and my programs I offer. And they also interviewed some of my students. And when they did that, like it had got over like 3,000 likes and a whole lot of hundreds of thousands of views, and so many people were sharing it, and I had a lot of students enroll from that. So I didn't really pay a lot for advertising. Like I still don't even, I pay people for a website and they haven't even completed my website. So really the only landing page I have is my Instagram and my Facebook business page. And I just really, it's a lot of word of mouth, like me helping other students get licensed and stuff, and then they go tell people. And then I'm in a shopping center where it's a Dollar Tree, it's a Atwood, a Tractor Supply, it's a Pizza Hut, a AutoZone, a furniture store, food places. So I'm in a popular where it's like a lot of traffic, so that gives me a lot of clients and people who come in inquiring about programs and stuff as well.
Okay, I'm going to give you Gerard's wife information, Gerard and Stephanie, because she does school websites and they do a really great job, very
Yeah,
affordable.
I need to get one this year because I need to.
So now you're getting students, clients are coming in. Can you tell us about how that's going? When you started?
So I started I got approved for my school in August 11th of 2022, and I actually started enrolling students September 6th of 2022. And so ever since September we've had students enroll every single month. And I've had about, from September to now, I've had about 50 students. Right now currently I have 12 students. I have 8 people that just graduated, and then I've been sick with the flu. So I got like 5 people that are payment ready. I just haven't had the energy to draw up their contracts or nothing. So I'm gonna get that done hopefully tomorrow. But it's been good. It's only real issue I have, and you've told me about that, I think it's Elevate. So I'm just waiting on a meeting with them. But the biggest issue is like I this last year I really kind of got burnt out because I was putting my heart in it more than making it about business. And like students, I feel like some of my students took that my kindness for a weakness. Like out of 20 students, I probably would only have like 5 people pay on time. So if I'm not working a job and I'm trying to, rob Peter to pay Paul to keep the bills paid and keep stuff going. And so I've learned now, like if a student don't pay you within a week and they don't set up a payment arrangement, then you need to immediately take them off the clock. I was letting people go 2-3 months without barely paying $200-300 over 3 months, and that caused me to be in a hole. So that was like the biggest downfall, I would say.
Okay, well, what's been some of the biggest wins? How does it feel to be a school owner versus, I guess, a hairstylist or owning a shop or whatever? How has that been Can you
Oh,
tell?
it's so much better. I wouldn't change it for the world because when I was a hairstylist, I go in the shop at 9 a.m. and don't get out to 9 p.m. and I barely make basketball games. You know, my kids be sad because I don't make a game. Or when I get home, I don't want to do nothing but shower and go to sleep because I'm so tired and my hands hurt. And that's what I also knew was I always knew I wanted to always want to work smarter, not harder. And I didn't want to stand behind a chair forever. Not that it's a bad thing, but I just know for me, that's not what I want to do. I want to have financial freedom with time and money. So um I wouldn't change it for the world. Like now I can pick when I want to work. You know, we're now in Texas, we're able to be 50-50. So we're able to be 50% in person, 50% virtual from home. So that gives me the luxury of being able to spend more time with my kids, do more with my kids, and just, you know, work on things I can do, have more time to run the back end of my school and manage my time better.
Okay. Where did you get your equipment from?
So I couldn't really afford Burmax and all the things you were sending me. So I have a family friend up here him and his sister, they've made over $1 million. Like I've probably seen close to $1 million he had in his house in his safe. I think it was about $1 million. It was a lot of money. But they have their own shop here in Garland, and they had bought new shampoo bowls and, you know, all new appliances. So they sold their stuff to me little to nothing. I had got like 4 shampoo bowls. And then in Tyler, there was a mall, JC Penney's, they have like the little hair salons, and they were getting rid of their stuff also. So I bought their stations with the big mirrors and the chairs I got like 5 stations and chairs and mirrors. I probably paid, I think, $800 for all 5 of those. And then for my 4 shampoo bowls with the chairs, and the chairs, they like recline back and stuff, I paid, I think it was like $500 or $600 for that. And then I found like garage sales where I found the table. The table and chairs was like brand new, like for my break room. And I went to Walmart and got like the folding chairs. And then I seen on Marketplace, I guess they were selling a whole lot of classroom tables, like the long wooded ones, and they were selling them for $20 each. So I think I bought like 12 of them. I got tables everywhere. So I bought a whole lot of those. And then Walmart had a big sale. Those like white and black folding chairs that you can put outside and stuff for parties. They had them on sale for like $10, and they were usually like 20. So I had bought like 30 or 40 of those as well. So I found a lot of stuff just like garage sales, Marketplace, stuff like that.
Okay.
Amazon.
Now, what about your teaching material? Can you tell them about that? My ladies or period point, can you share that?
Yes, I use Milady, and it's pretty affordable. So I bought the online version. I just bought the teacher. So I have a group of 3 other ladies that I'm in a group with, and they have schools also. And we talk a lot or whatever, and they do where they pay for the seat. So when you pay for a student seat, you pay like, I think it's like 350 or $60 or something, a one-time fee, but you get the book and they have online access. So um a lot of my students, I have people in their 40s, I got people in 18, I got a wide range of students. So everybody ain't tech savvy. So, and I like to be a hands-on person, so I just order books for my students. So I pay, like for a cause book through Milady, I pay $160. But now what I do is I just order it through Amazon, or sometimes I try to find books off of Marketplace or something a little cheaper for the students, because like I tell them, it's not like they're gonna keep the book forever or use it forever. So I tell the students, like my cost program is $8,000. So I let them know, hey, our tuition is cheaper, so you're able to go out and invest in yourself after school and all that or whatever. But I pay for the online instructor for esthetician and eyelash for myself. So I'm able to log in, and it comes with all the answer keys. You gave me the PDF for cause, so I didn't have to buy it through Milady. So you sent me the whole 900-page PDF where I got the answer keys for, you know, all the chapters and stuff for hair. And then I just bought the package through Milady for SD. So I think for SD, I pay like 500 for the esthetician instructor online. And then for the eyelash, I pay like 200. And it's like, you know, full access, and there's no time span. That's like a lifetime thing. You just log in and you can teach. And then my students have books. So what I do is you also show me how to extract on Adobe. So like say I'm about to give a student a test over chapter 4. I just go in and I extract out the pages of that test online, and I print it off and make enough copies for the students. And then I got my answer key to grade it.
Okay, now, were you scared to open your school?
Yeah, I had a lot of fear. More so my fear was driving, because it's crazy. I used to be able to drive all across the world. And now I drive. But when I first was opening my school, my kid's father, he was the one taking me down there all the time, because my aunt died in a car wreck. And it's crazy because she never drove. She didn't start driving until she was like in her 30s. And when she died in a head-on collision, it just traumatized me, and I didn't want to drive, and I was so afraid to drive. But I'm going through this process of trying to open a school 2 hours from where I live. So I'm like, okay, well, when it really comes time for me to start actually being down here to teach, how I'm gonna do it. And I used to like have these anxiety attacks when I would be driving, and I'd just be so fearful for some reason. And I didn't understand it because I never went through it before. So I just was praying before I knew I had to go down there and actually start teaching. I'd just be like praying and trying to find natural things to do to help me with my anxiety. And I can honestly say I have been good. Like driving down there, I've been good. So that was really the only thing I was really fearful about, because when I get there, I'm on go. Like I don't care. I got full of energy. When I'm there teaching, I'm teaching from 9 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. because my day class is 9 to 5 and my night class is 5:30 to 9:30. So I barely sometimes don't even get that 30-minute break in between, because somebody probably staying after talking. So but I be full of energy. That's one thing. I think only I can honestly say out of all the since September 2022, I've probably only felt really exhausted maybe twice. I'm always just on go.
Now, how was it working in the salon?
It was cool, but I knew I wanted more, because I just knew I wanted more. Like I made a lot of money doing hair in the salon and in my kitchen, even more in my kitchen, because I didn't have to worry about paying shop rent. But I just knew I wanted more. I didn't want to stand behind a chair forever. I wanted to make sure I could leave something behind that my kids can actually, have, and not have to work so hard to keep.
So you didn't want to stand behind a chair a long time?
No, I always knew I didn't, because I'm a thicker kind of girl. So my hands, everybody tell me I got hands like a man. I got big hands. So after I get the braiding hair and stuff, my hands be swole. I be tired. My feet and ankles be hurting. And I be like, oh my gosh. And then I gotta get up and go back to the shop tomorrow and do it all over again. And braiding hair for hours, and just like if I just had to do silk presses and updos and sew-ins, that's cool. But my main thing was braids and dreads. So I still had those clients coming too. And but my clients were real understanding. I was letting them know before I actually, before when I was in the process, I was letting them know I was gonna open a school. And some of them, they come back to my house now. They're like, girl, you finna keep doing my hair. You ain't finna stop. So I do hair time to time, but yeah.
So you didn't see yourself just stand behind that chair for years and years and years?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not at all.
But you're still real young.
I'm about to be 31 next month. I'm old. At least my kids make me feel old.
Mm. Now, okay, so we have the school, you got clients and all of that. Can you tell them a little bit about, I guess, knackers? Because I know you went to the workshop too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So can you share about that journey a little bit?
Oh, it's a lot of information to take in. It could feel overwhelming, but it was so inspiring. Like there was people who own Paul Mitchell schools. They were giving me their phone number to call them if I ever need anything. Like it was I didn't feel like nobody was gatekeeping at all. There was this one guy, he pulled his bank statements up and showed how much he making working in his school. And then it's funny because there was two members on the board that because it was me and three other girls who went. One of the other three girls, her name is Annie. She has a school in Houston. You mentor her as well. But we were talking to two of the panelists, because basically the panelists, the people who come out and tell you that you get approved for KNIS, you're accredited, they're people who have schools. So we were questioning them and asking them stuff, and then they were speaking about a new bill that the president has. I think they called it a 1500 bill or something. I forgot what they called it, but they were saying that, like, I guess like in Jersey and stuff, like, say if you have a cause or barber or esthetician program, you're good, because to get government funding, you got to have at least 700-hour program. But I guess in like Jersey and New York and stuff, they were offering like say you want to do eyelash. If you just have an eyelash school, I mean, you would just be like a cash kind of school. You could get it. You could still get accredited, because like what I learned was students need to know the difference in accreditation through NACIS and your state. Like my state is TDLR. It's a big difference in those two, because it's showing that you're actually doing what you're saying on paperwork that you're doing. So just because you can still go through NACIS and get accredited and not actually get the government funding. So I also learned that we got to go through the NACIS process, but you also still have to send an application to the education board in your state to actually start getting the money. So I didn't know that. I thought NACIS was the people to give us the money, but it's your education board people to give you the money. But they were just basically like, it felt like they were trying to discourage us, the two guys, because they were like, oh, if I was you, I would just be a cash drawn school. I wouldn't worry about getting government funding, because half the people that are here in 5 years, they won't even have a school no more, because the government is trying to take away the government funding. And then that's when I text you, I was like, Shin, what they talking about? And you was like, they've been talking about this for over 20 years, but
They was talking about that in 1998 when I went.
Yeah, so and then that's when another guy, he has 3 barber schools in Houston, and that's when he opened his bank statements. He was like, well, even if they do shut it down in 5 years, why not go ahead and get it? So in 5 years, that could be money you could be getting from them until they do shut it down, because he was like, look what I'm making. Like, don't let these people discourage you. So I was like, yeah, but it was a fun experience for me. Don't be like me, because I waited to the last minute to send my mail. So I had to pay the $900 as a walk-in to go to the workshop, not the regular, what is it,
525.
Yeah, I had to pay the $900. So I was sick about that, but I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I met a lot of people. I met a lady who the prisons have partnered with her, where she go and teach prisoners to get their barber and cause license and stuff. So I learned a lot with that. 1 second, let me get this. One moment.
Okay. Let me share her page, and then okay, so I want to make sure y'all follow this Instagram page, and I'm gonna put this link in the chat also, so all of y'all on here can follow this Instagram page, and I'll show you all some of our Instagram stuff.
Always A1 Beauty School. Parking lot. We got busy day going on. Students here. So I'm gonna just show y'all a quick little bit of inside the school and what we got going on today. Follow me. So we got some packages and stuff delivered, some new kits and stuff coming for students. And I got a wonderful student, Shannon, on the recorder for me today. Let's go over some of our programs. So we get a lot of questions about what classes we offer, programs we offer. We have cosmetology, we have esthetician. Cosmetology is a 1,000-hour course. The tuition is $7,500. We do affordable deposits and monthly payments for all of our programs. The esthetician program is a 750-hour course. Eyelash is a 320-hour course. Barber and nail is a 320-hour course. Barber is a 1,000-hour course. The nail and barber solely by themselves will be available by midsummer. All of our programs come with affordable deposit options and monthly payments. And yeah, just follow me to the next room.
I hate watching myself on video.
This right here is our classroom that we get a lot of theory and visual showing on the videos. This is our wonderful color wheel. If you're an esthetician or a cosmetologist, this is very beneficial and useful for you. This is another one of our classrooms that we do theory work in. Every student, regardless of what program you're in, you will do an infection control project to learn about a lot of the harmful pathogens. So we'll know what to look out for. This is our esthetician and eyelash room in here. Feel close to the door. Show you here.
That room looks totally different now.
Does it? You have to take us on a tour one day.
Our trolley and our mannequin massage tables. Here you'll learn a lot about eyelashes and skincare, doing facials, doing lip blushings, eyebrows, waxing.
And did you want to talk them through this, Alex? Or did you want them to listen?
No, they can listen. They can listen.
So we have full time, which is 9 o'clock to 5:30. I'm saying it all wrong. We have our full time program is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you get an hour lunch. And our night class is from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. This is our dispensary room in here. We're very big on infection control. And there goes another color wheel right here. Color wheel is very important for causing eczema. And in our dispensary room, we have our barber side where we disinfect our tools and implements and keep all of our chemicals safe in a closed area. And then we're gonna go in the classroom. They're teaching, so we're gonna be kind of quiet.
Do that haircut while they're processing. You see what I'm saying? While they're processing.
This is our class area. We'll show them here. This is where the college students learn a lot of hands-on with hair. And we are offering services to the community, so we do get a lot of questions about that. You can walk in anytime Monday through Wednesday between 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. if you would like our students to practice on you. We are very affordable and very good as well. A lot of these students are already knowing and skilled at what they're doing. They just need their license. So we would love for the community to come out and support us Monday through Wednesdays to let our students work on you. If you are curious about a particular service you want done, you can give us a call at 214-415-4537 and we'll let you know our prices. And yes, come and see us. Thank you.
Any other picture you want us to click on?
Now I'll have to send you some updated ones when I get down there next week.
Okay. Now, let me look over here. You got a nice school, a lot of rooms, way better than my little school that I started with. Y'all schools are very nice. There was nothing like my little small ragged school.
I told you about the one little incident I had at my school though, about the gas, right?
Do you want to share that with them?
Yeah, like when I tell y'all it's nobody but God that I'm still alive, and I am not over exaggerating because my school's been open since September of 2022, right? So since September of 2022, we've always had students and clients come in and say it smells like gas in the school. So there is a Tractor Supply where they have a propane tank outside. So I always tell people, well, I think it's probably because of the propane tank, because I only have electricity. There's no gas in my building. And basically, when was it? It was, I had a new student who started on it had like that rotten egg smell. And I guess I got so used to it because I would be in there every day, but sometimes I really didn't have much of a headache, but there were times that I would be working late and I would just sleep at my school and I would wake up in the middle of the night coughing really, really bad. So I was like, I can't be sleeping in here no more. I don't know why I'm coughing like this. So, I could have died in my sleep plenty of times. But when I had a new student who started about a month ago, she was like, girl, my brother works for a gas company. Like, we should call. I never thought to call a gas company. I called my maintenance people. I called the city. And they were assuring me that there's no way, like the maintenance people came out. They was like, maybe it's just the water sewer line that's smelling like that. Like nobody knew. So then when she said that, I was like, okay, well, let me just call a gas company. So they sent CenterPoint Energy out. And as soon as he walked in, he had this meter thing. And he said we was like a level, I think he said 4.5. And he was like, how many people you got in here? And he was like, everybody needs to evacuate immediately. I had my 2-year-old daughter in there with me while I was working that day and everything. It was like really scary. And so they had like 20 workers came and they went behind my school and drilled out. So basically what it was they switched over from they cut the gas off, but it was a leak under in the concrete in the gas line still pumping gas fumes into the school. So from 2022 to just like that was November that they came and they did that. So from September of 2022 to November, we was breathing in gas all that time. And I had students who had seizures and stuff. I had 2 students who suffered from seizures. Luckily, they never had a seizure at the school, but they always complained about headaches every time they came to the school. So I just thank God that we didn't blow up, because I was always lighting candles, trying to diffuse the smell and everything. So when I say God must got a good purpose for my students and me, I know he do, because I can't believe that we was breathing in gas all that time.
Yeah, that's a blessing. Now, what would you tell, I guess, a beauty professional that's thinking about maybe opening a school? Because I know you said you were braiding and standing on your feet a lot. And can you tell us about that? How during that time, how you would feel or whatever?
I just feel exhausted a lot. I mean, I would get up, go to work, do hair and stuff, but I just kind of during that time I was drinking a lot. That's probably kind of why I felt a bit exhausted, because I was drinking a lot and just, preparing for the school. And I don't know, I caught myself stressing over all the stuff I was asking for. But I don't know why. Sometimes I do that. I overthink and then I be stressing myself out. But I mean, I'm grateful for it because I made a lot of money and that helped me open my school. But I didn't get the time. Like I was always getting griped out about, oh, mama, you just got to my game. It's the fourth quarter, or like,
Well, your
you just
daughter,
want. Yeah, my daughters be griping me out because I barely make the end of their basketball games and stuff. And I just always feel so bad. And I'm like, I always used to pray to God, like, God bless me to have a career to where in the beauty industry to where I can be able to make money, but also be there for my kids, because I got a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And my 12 and 10-year-old, they play AAU basketball and stuff. So we got to travel a lot. And if my money only gets made by me standing right here doing hair, how I'm going to be able to, make money and travel with them as much as I need to. So I knew opening a school was going to be my best option in the beauty industry.
okay. So what advice would you tell a potential school owner, a barber, stylist, nail tech, esthetician that may be thinking about opening a school? They may be working at a school right now. They may be working at a shop or got their own shop. What would you tell them?
I would say if it's something you can't get off of your mind, because I couldn't get it off my mind. Like every day I was thinking about it. Every day I would get up doing little things every day to try to get to the big end goal of opening my school. So if it's something you can't get off your mind, you just keep thinking about it, I would say go for it. I know some people think about opening a salon and having people pay their booth rent and stuff like that, which is cool too, but that's just not the option I wanted to go, because I don't want to be dependent on my bills getting paid off of these people getting clients. And I didn't want to go that route. I wanted to go the route where I knew it was a need. People need to get their license. So I want to be the person to be able to give them their license. And so I knew that was going to be more of a better chance for me. But I would say if it's something you can't stop thinking about, definitely do it. Like, do it afraid. When I tell y'all I had no money. Okay, so when I say no money, I invested about $25,000 of my income working for my job and doing hair into my business from 2021 until I enrolled students in until August. So remember, I didn't have to pay any rent. So try to find a building that, is kind of moving ready and all that kind of stuff. But I saved up about $25,000, and that's from the CPA, the equipment I bought, all the products I bought to put in my school. And you don't have to start off with a lot. Like the video y'all seen, that video is old. That was like in 2022 or maybe early 2023. That was probably early 2023. So now like my dispensary room is full of all kind of products now. And also another thing to help you save money, I was spending like $1,000 a kit for students, but we don't got government funding right now. So you can self-make kits and give them the things that they need to help them with state board, but you don't have to go and go all out. Somebody asked 20. Yeah, I spent 25,000 in all, like with my so my rent is like $2,100. So I had to pay like $4,200 down for my first month rent and deposit. Then I paid Chin some money as well throughout this time. Plus I've also paid for, you know, my light bill, getting my lights on, equipment, just what else? My DBA, my LLC, all of that stuff that I had to invest into getting ready to open my school in 2022. So it took me in all about $25,000 to get started. For some people, it may be a little cheaper or maybe a little more because, you know, I see some schools, I'd be like, oh, your school real nice and aesthetic. It look real rich in here. You know, mine look like an actual school, you know. So, but you know, I like it for now. Later, once we get the big bucks, we'll upgrade our equipment and stuff. But it works, you know, nobody's complaining like, eh. But I would say, you know, like I say, if you can't stop thinking about it, if it's something you really want to do, if you are always watching Chin videos and stuff, I would definitely say just little by little start working on it. But no, you do have to secure your building before you can even submit an application. So if you go ahead and get a building, then you know, it's no looking back from that. Just do it afraid. Just do it.
What were you thinking watching those videos? Did you watch some of the videos we have?
Which ones?
Like the videos that we put out, like on YouTube or Facebook or whatever.
Oh yeah, I used to always watch a lot of your videos because really, I seen like maybe 2 other women had made videos on YouTube before, but they only made like one video. They weren't consistent, and I seen you were consistent with talking about opening a school, and I would take notes, write stuff down. I would call you, and then that's what made me go ahead and join your mentorship program. But yeah, I liked all the videos, like as far as how to open a school, you know, just definitely seeing your story of, you know, your journey and where you came from and how, you know, your school was and how you got it going. So yeah, I've probably seen every video you've put out probably 2 or 3 times each video.
And when you would watch other people, what would go on in your brain?
Other people who have schools.
Yeah, they went through the program, they open schools or whatever. Like, what do y'all be thinking?
I feel like that the only thing from that person and me or me and you is just don't give up. Like you can't give up. Like y'all don't know, like I got so far in a hole to where I got the locks changed on my school one time. Like this was about 4 to 6 months ago. They locked me out because I couldn't pay my rent because I was being so nice letting all my students. And at that moment, you know, I could have gave up, right? But I'm like, no, I'm finna hustle and get this money that people owe me. You know, and then I'm dug into the last bit of savings that I had to get back in my building and get things going. And so that was also a wake up call for me, is that I can't be lenient on these students. But I feel like I don't have a plan B. My plan B is making sure plan A works. So I don't got no other option.
So what would you tell people that make excuses? Because we have a lot of people, I talk to people every day, but I just listen because I don't talk a lot. I just listen, but people that just make a lot of excuses.
I would say one thing that I wish I wouldn't have did was I guess I was kind of manifesting it out loud, but I was manifesting it to just any and everybody. And most people wasn't even listening, but I used to just, people could be talking about what they finna go eat. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm about to open a beauty school soon. And I don't feel like nobody really cared, but I knew I cared. I was like, and at that time, I would say this stuff, but at that time, I didn't even have a building yet. I was just saying it because I really knew I wanted to open a school, and I didn't know how, but I would just be like, I would always say, like, I'm gonna open a school soon. People be like, oh, what you doing tomorrow? Oh, nothing. I'm gonna open a school soon. I'm working on opening a beauty school. I would say it to any and everybody. But, yeah, like, I wasn't gonna take no for an answer, but I wish I wouldn't have did that so much, because then people can project their fears on you. And then you could start feeling discouraged, like, oh, should I or should I not? Like, if it's even a question if you should or shouldn't, then obviously you probably should give it a try, because you're gonna miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I was like, I'm finna take this shot regardless, and I don't regret it at all, not one bit.
What do you mean people projecting their fears on you? What do you mean by
But
that?
like, I would hear, how you gonna do that? You got 4 kids. How you gonna you stay in Dallas? How you gonna run a school down here in Jacksonville? How you gonna do, and I'd be like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a way, and I'm gonna come up with a plan. I'm gonna do it. And then now that I'm doing it, it's real quiet. All you hear is crickets. So yeah, a lot of people had a lot of fears that they wanted to project onto me.
Okay, now do you got any time for any Q&A?
Yes, let me look. I see somebody named.
One thing, Alex, I want to thank you for coming on here sharing. I really wanted people to hear your story, because I'm gonna put this on YouTube also, because this should inspire, especially no man should be scared after this. No person, man or woman, but a man should really not be. And there's some of the most, we have way more women than men. A lot of the men are the most hesitant, probably scared or whatever, I don't know. But I wanted everybody to hear your story of how a single parent mom with 4 children. So I take my hat off to you. I commend you. We're gonna get that NACA's work done. I'll make sure the team gets all that paperwork done for you, so we can get you through this process. And I'm just glad and thankful that you believed in us, and you're doing so well with the school, and we'll continue to help you. Anything else that you want to share with them? Because I'm gonna be here to help you. And of course, for the women, I'm weak for you all when it comes to helping and all that, because my mom, my sister, the men, I'm a little hard on them, but you all, I'm at y'all's beck and call, everybody. But for the women, y'all get more treatment. So we gonna get that NACA stuff done. And I can't wait until you get accredited and start receiving all that government money, the millions of dollars, because that's gonna change your life. It's gonna change your 4 daughters' life. And I really want that for you all. So I'm here to help you and make that happen.
Yes, I thank you so much. Thank you. I had to try to get a little cute because I still feel sick. So hopefully I don't look as bad as I feel right now.
And we always leave with your theme song.